Vince Gilligan set out on a mission to turn a mild-mannered high school chemistry teacher into a murder-struck kingpin. That idea became Breaking Bad, and some critics call it the best television show ever.
Breaking Bad won this year's Emmy for Outstanding Drama. A record 10.3 million people watched the finale on Sunday night. Vince Gilligan is welcome here. We're pleased to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Everybody seems to love one line in the finale, the last episode. It is, "I did it for me."
Yes, yes.
And you wrote the line.
And I think that was a long overdue bit of honesty from Mr. White. I think he was doing it for him all along, and he finally copped to it, which I think was very important to have in that final episode.
Charlie Collier says, that the head of AMC says that the only thing you ask is that you were able to end it on your own terms, which it seems that you did that. But I want to know, Vince, what it was like when you were done with that script. Did you take a drink? Did you cry? Did you lay down? What was that moment like for you?
Well, I'm never not drinking. But when I wrote the end, it was the first time ever I'd written. Usually it says the end at the end. This one said end of series. And that last paragraph or so, I actually, I'm hate to admit it, but I teared up a bit. It was very emotional because that was the last time I was ever gonna write that character.
But did you have alternative endings?
We had a lot of alternative endings, not in the scripting stage. The most important and hardest part of the writing process, at least the way we did it on our show, was breaking the story, which in other words means the six writers the six wonderful writers I had and I. And our writer's assistant would sit around in a room for hours and hours on end, breaking the story, figuring out every plot beat, put it on little index cards. And so in that process, we had a lot of alternate, we had every permutation and possibility we could think of.
And how did the Charlie Rose idea come up with?
Well, we all love Mr. Rose, and I have to say you did such a wonderful job. You were just absolutely fantastic.
How was his performance, would you say?
Fantastic. He was, I think, the best person we could have picked to play Charlie Rose. But
it was also pivotal to the storyline. That's what was so cool about it. That Charlie Rose interview really set up a whole different set of events.
Absolutely.
So I saw Jonathan Banks, who said that working on the show was as good as it gets. Anna Gunn, who played Skylar, said getting a script was like Christmas morning every single day. And I think when you get that kind of accolade from the people that you work with, Vince, I want to be inside your brain. I want to know your thought process, really, where this all came from for you.
I think in
when did you break bad?
Yeah, when did I break bad?
When did you break bad? Because at first I thought, is he twisted? Is he a little crazy? What's wrong with him? But now I just think that you're brilliant.
Oh, you're very sweet. I appreciate that. I think in hindsight, sometimes we don't know why we do the things we do them until we have time to deconstruct them later. I think it's really a story about fear and living with fear and learning to live without it, and a story about midlife crises. I was about to turn 40 when I came up with this story 6 or 7 years ago. And I was thinking in those terms. I was thinking about, what is it to face the middle of your life, and have you done enough with your life thus far? And so all of those thoughts and fears, perhaps, if you will, informed Mr. White as I was constructing him.
Yeah.
You have an exciting new project coming up.
Yeah, working for the wonderful Tiffany Network, for CBS. That's right.
We're psyched about that.
Yeah.
It's called
What are you going to do?
It's a script I wrote 11 years ago called Battle Creek. And it should be a lot of fun. And I'm working with the excellent David Shore, who created and ran House, made such a hit of the excellent TV show House for so many years. And he is going to be point man on it and do a great job.
You need not have this thought, but I mean, there is this notion that life will never ever be as good as it was with Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah.
That somehow magic came together and you created something. Yeah.
It was lightning in a bottle, and I try to give myself that pep talk every day now, where I say, it's okay. You can go on from here. It doesn't have to be as good.
There is life after Breaking Bad.
It's very likely never going to be as good as this was, but that's okay.
We like lightning here at CBS. I want you to help me with the spoiler alerts, because I'm getting hammered on Twitter, because I talked about it.
Yes.
I think, Vince, after it airs, that it's fair game. Where do you stand on that?
I think you're right. It's a tricky world we live in now with binge watching, where people let these things pile up and then they watch them on their SVOD carrier of choice. You know, it's tricky because if it's in the public eye, and if we're on talking about it, how do you not spoil things? And if everyone's at a different spot, they just have to hear that I'm coming on and turn
go,
the channel.
Which you stand with Gail.
Yeah, we do.
We stand with Gail.
I do too.
There you go.
Thank you. I might need a letter from you soon.
Yes.
Thanks, Gilligan.
I'll write you an affidavit.
Thank you so much.